Hey everybody, welcome back to Halfshelltoys and Collectibles. The last 24 hours has been pretty good. We've sold quite a few video games and a few other items. So we're going to go ahead and pull those really quick so we can get on the listing. We've lost a lot of time this week due to sickness in the family, so got to get busy and get some stuff listed. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing we got to pull is the Mario Kart for Nintendo 64, and it's in pretty good condition. So let's go ahead and pull that off of S3. And I've got a stack, actually a couple stacks of Mario games, not Mario games, N64 games here. So there it is right there. All right, so there's Mario Kart 64, and it is in really good condition. And we tested all of those games. All of them worked. We had to clean some of them up to get them working, but they are all working now. And so that sold for $38.99 plus shipping. Buyer paid a flat rate of $5.99 for shipping. The next item is a horror model kit. We just picked these up last week. And this one is Frankenstein. And I have him over on the shelf over here as well. So we'll set this over here. So there's Frankenstein. Put this back. So I could have gotten a little bit more for this guy. He is sealed, but there is some box damage, and these models, they are plastic, but they're kind of like a brittle plastic. You know, they could break easily, snap easily. So come down on the price a little bit on them. So this one sold for $40.49 plus shipping. The buyer paid a total of $12.45 shipped for it. Some of those were going for like $60, where the box was in like perfect condition. So I came down about $20 on that item, but I got it sold, and it is going to a new home. That's awesome. All right, guys, the next item we got to pull is actually a Christmas item, and it is a stuffed moose that sings jingle bells. And this is made by Dan D. Their stuffed animals are like top of the line, and they're very collectible. Matter of fact, in Walmart this year, for their Christmas decorations and toys and stuff like that, they have some Dan D stuffed animals. Matter of fact, the Bluey stuff that we got for my son out of the Christmas aisle was from that manufacturer, and they make great stuff. I forgot to see what tote this is in, but I think it's in this one right here. A17. Yeah, there he is. So I've had this one listed for a few months, and it finally sold. And it is new in the packaging, and he is very cool. So let's head back into the office where it's warm. All right, so that's the moose, or I guess it's a moose or a reindeer. I don't know, it kind of looks like a caribou too, I guess. But and he still works. So brand new in packaging. He's pretty good size. He's probably 14 inches tall or so, 15 inches tall. And he sold for $56.52 plus shipping. The buyer paid $17.15 ship for that item. So not a bad flip, because we're only like, probably a couple bucks into that. So not bad at all. All right, the next item we got to pull is also a Christmas item, and it is a brand new stocking. We got this at a yard sale back in the summertime, and I remember paying either 50 cents or $1 for this. And we bought two things at that yard sale. We bought Forrest Gump on Blu-ray for $1, and it sold almost instantly. And we listed this one last week, and it sold in just a matter of days. So not bad flips. So let's get this in here. I'm not going to take it out of the bag, but that's it right there. And I will show you guys a picture of it. It says, "Let It Snow," and it's the Bumble from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It's brand new with the tag. It is 18 inches long, and we got $14 plus shipping for that one. So basically the buyer paid 20 bucks, $20 shipped for that item. Not bad for picking it up for 50 cents or $1. So the next item we gotta pull is another Funko Pop. I'm amazed that these are starting to pick up again. Probably because Funko's in the news. People are seeing it come across their feed quite a bit lately. But so the sales have actually picked up a little bit, which is surprising. So this one is Peacemaker, and he is in S15, and it's number 1232. So, and that's over here. That's right there, actually. And that's him right there. So, and the box looks to be in great condition. And he sold for $9.68 plus shipping. Got a flat rate shipping on those at $6.99. So not a bad flip. The next three things we got to pull are video games. They're all going to different people. Man, if I could pick up video games every single week at a great price, I don't think I'd have to sell anything else. Vintage video games do so well. They do way better than vintage toys. They just sell super fast. So the first one we got to pull is The Legend of Zelda. And it's an N64, and it's the gold cart, and it's down here at the bottom of the stack. All right. And this one sold for $64.12 plus $5.99 flat rate shipping on that one. So, and the next one is Gauntlet Legends, and it's also for the N64. So it's going to be over here in the same place. So let's see here. There it is right there. So there's that one. And all of these are in pretty good shape. They may have some minor wear, but they are all in pretty good condition. And this one sold for $38 plus shipping, flat rate $5.99. And then the N64 games that I've pulled today, sold one earlier in the week. They came from a buyout that we did over the weekend or the end of last week. And we paid up for the stuff, like probably overpaid for the stuff. So every dime that we can bring in from that stuff is going to really help us get our money back. The last one we sold, though, was from a great video game buy that the lot's already paid off. So this one is going to be pure profit. So, and it is also a Zelda game. Legend of Zelda for the Game Boy Color, I think. So I'll get you guys in here. A little bin. This might be it right here. Yep, that's it right there. So this one sold for $48.99 plus shipping, and I didn't have flat rate on this one, so the buyer paid $8.40 for shipping. So we'll be able to keep a little bit of that shipping money because that's a pretty light item. So that's not bad. I think I took an offer on that one. I think it was listed for $54.99, but with the lot being paid off and it being pure profit, I was definitely willing to take the offer. So that is the last item that we had to pull, and very small amount of stuff for the last 24 hours, but that's okay. I have been I've been exhausted. So this is a good amount of stuff for me to ship and list a few things today and go rest, take a nap. It is Wednesday. It's almost noon. And for the last 3 nights, I've only gotten about 7.5 hours of sleep total. So I'm really dragging. So it'll be nice to get a nice long nap in today, kind of get caught up on sleep, but we'll see. We've been having to tend to our son a lot. He's got a lot of upper chest congestion, so we're having to watch him while he sleeps. So it's been the red eye flight every night for the last 3 nights. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna check out and get some stuff done so I can get back in the house and just rest and take it easy. So, all right, guys, keep on thrifting, keep on shipping. We'll see you on the next one.